Okay, good morning. So I'm gonna go over the math lesson for today, which is changing repeating decimals to fractions, and that's a little bit trickier than just regular terminating decimals. All right, so let's see if I need to switch what I'm showing here, and so today we're going to work on changing a repeating decimal like 0.37 repeating, and we're going to change that to a fraction. So one of the key things we need to keep in mind here, right, is this repeating decimal, right, is really, I mean, that means that the 37, it goes on forever and ever. So it's 37, 37, 37, over and over and over, forever and ever. Okay? So the way that you solve these problems is you have to set up equations. You have to use solving equation properties. And we're going to work on solving equations a lot more later in the year. So we will come back to this and kind of review it later on. However, right now, it is part of this lesson. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It is probably, and just prepare yourself, one of the harder things that we're going to do this year. Mostly because of the theoretical way in which you have to think about it. So right here is kind of the key to making this work, is understanding that 0.37 is 37, 37, 37. So when you multiply by 100, right, so if this was just 0.37 and you multiply by 100, right, you move that decimal 2 times. So you would have 37. But remember, this is 37 repeating. So there's another 37 back here, the repeating 37 that goes on forever. So when we multiply this by 100, and this is the first step, but we're going to go over that in a second. This is why, right, it changes from 37, like 0.37 to 37.37 repeating. It's an important idea that you need to keep that in mind. Okay? And so we're going to go over this step by step. You can go back and look in the book, but I'm going to make a step-by-step little set of notes for you. And let's go ahead and make that disappear. There we go. All right. So we're going to be changing repeating decimals to fractions. And we're going to start out with 0.37. All right, so the first step is we're going to make this repeating value, this decimal, and we're going to set it equal to x. Okay, so that is the first step, is we are going to say this equals x. We're going to set the repeating decimal equal to x. So this is x. All right. Now, when you have an equation, whatever you do to one side, if you do the same thing to the other side, it stays equal. Okay, so the next step is we need to look and see, right, how many times, like how many digits are repeating. So there are 2 digits repeating. So we need to multiply that by the 100 in this case. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both, right? This has to happen to both sides of the equation by, and this is where, let's see, right? We are going to have to kind of think, because it depends on the repeating decimal. So you're going to multiply both sides by 10 if 1 digit repeats. You're going to multiply by 100 if 2 digits repeat. Right? You would multiply by 1,000 if 3 digits